Good morning and welcome to Robin Spiers Live Online, Calgary's real estate hotline. I'm Robin and I want to hear any questions you've got about real estate. Just a quick reminder, as always, you can leave your questions in our comment section below. And if you want to keep your questions private, you can always private message us or even email us at info@robinspiers.com. I'm just about to get to the Q&A, and before I do, just want to remind you, if you do have a friend or a family member that you think has a question about real estate or could get some of their questions answered, you can also tag them in the comment section below, and that might prompt them to tune in now or later and get their questions answered. So anyway, first question. This is actually a really good question. Anna sent this in. What should I do to prepare my home for showings? Well, preparing your home for showings is a very important task because a home that shows well will likely sell faster and for more money. So this is really big. Now, what does it mean to show well? Remember the 3 R's: remove, repair, and renew. Remove as much clutter as possible, give it away, do a garage sale, put it in storage, or just take it to the dump, but get it out of the house. You want to make your home look spacious and tidy. So that's the remove part. The repair chipped paint, cracked tiles, squeaky hinges, leaky faucets. Repair everything that you can. You're going to find that if you get repairs done, it does give off an impression. So if you've got a lot of little things that are in need of repair, that can give a bad impression when people are looking through. And if you need a handyman, get in touch with me. I can refer you a handyman. Renew, get everything cleaned. Clean. Can't say that enough. You want your home to be guest ready. Organize each room so each room looks like it's a showcase. A fresh coat of paint can go a long way to renewing the look of your home. A question for you. Have you ever seen a show home? They're usually spotless. They're usually staged quite well. It doesn't mean to say you have to hire a stager and rent all kinds of furniture and move your existing furniture out, but you could use your own furniture and stage it quite well. Obviously, the more your home looks like a show home, the better chance you have of buyers being interested in submitting an offer. So keep that in mind. So hopefully that answers your question, Anna, but that's a very good question because a lot of people either don't get the right advice when it comes to staging or showing their home or preparing their home for showings. Sorry. Staging is a different thing. So anyway, that was the one question we had for Anna. Just going to refresh our page here, see who's logged in. It looks like we've got someone logged in. Tim and Jared. Well, welcome, Tim and Jared. If either of you guys have any questions, feel free to post them up and we'll get them answered. Another question that was sent in by David actually was, why are there teams and individual agents? Any advantages or disadvantages to both? Okay, David, well, I guess one way I can sum it up is you can't do anything great without the help of a team, and a team will always outperform an individual. So assuming that the team is made up of good individuals on the team, then yes, I think a team will always outperform an individual. And the real estate market has changed. Even when I got in the business back in 2003, there weren't any, or I don't recall there being any teams. Everybody was a solo agent. You might have had an agent with an assistant or an administrative help, but not like the structured teams that we see today. And so yes, I mean, if all things being equal, I would always pick a team over an individual. I guess another thing to think about is, have you ever heard the saying, jack of all trades, but master of none? I guess another way to look at it is, are you going to get your general practitioner to operate on you? No, you'd go to a specialist for that. Or would you get your real estate lawyer to represent you in a murder trial? Absolutely not. And I'm sure they'd be the first to refer you to a trial lawyer. You want a team of specialists, or at least my opinion, you want a team of specialists, and that's the only way to go. But yeah, just like realtors, not all teams are created equal. There are good teams and maybe not so good teams. You want people to be able to specialize, and you want them to be able to be good at what they do. So hopefully that answers that question. And if you have any more, David, feel free to get in touch. Oh, and I see Parvane has just joined, so welcome, Parvane. Hope you had a good Mother's Day yesterday. Anyway, question also sent in from Josh. Why is the assessed value different than what my realtor says it's worth? So Josh, I did talk about this a few weeks ago. There was a question similar or the same, but I'll answer it again. The assessed value comes from the city, and the sales data is often out of date. It takes 6 to 7 months for the city to process the data that they get from the Calgary Real Estate Board. And then, of course, because it comes out 6 to 7 months later, it's out of date. And case in point, if everyone remembers 2014, the summer of 2014 was kind of a pinnacle for properties. It was the last pinnacle before the big drop. And then right around Labor Day weekend, that's when the price of oil dropped. So all the data was received by the city sometime in June or July, and then it didn't come out until January of 2015. So in that time, we had the price of oil drop, and because of the price of oil dropping, we had a lot of people in Calgary just stop transacting. Number of transactions dropped. Prices didn't really drop a whole lot, but we're talking number of transactions almost came to a halt. And as a result, the assessed values that were done, based on data that was received back in, June or July of the previous year, in January of 2015, everybody was up in arms saying, there's no way my house is worth this now because of what had happened in the economy and in the marketplace. So that's one of the reasons. Another reason is it's not accurate. The city cannot assess every single property separately. They take an average of sales in an area and can't keep track of those properties that have renos. Some have had more extensive renos than others, and some less extensive. So they can't cover all the different levels of renovations across the board. And as a result, they give an average. So the other thing that's out of their control is not everybody who does renos pulls permits. So you might get renos that are done without a permit being pulled. Now, when you pull a permit to get renos done, obviously the city knows that there's renos happening, so they might be able to assess a higher value. But again, it's not based on someone going out, looking at the level of renovations and saying, yes, this is worth X, because you did flooring, you did a full kitchen, you changed everything through. It was a gut. You basically gutted the place, whereas you could have also just painted, and that'll make a difference to your price, but not to the degree that a full renovation will. And because the city doesn't have this information, they can't give out an accurate assessed value. I've seen them off by 25% higher and lower, and I've seen them spot on. So you just have to know that it's not necessarily going to be an accurate price. What I would do is get a professional to come out, whether it's an appraiser or a realtor who has a pulse on the market, and give you an idea of what your home could sell for or the value of your home, and then you can compare it to the assessed value and see whether or not the city is spot on or if they're off by a certain percentage. And the other reality about that is the city doesn't have the manpower to get it exact, which is why they allow people to challenge their assessment. And so yeah, that's why when it comes out in the beginning of the year, I think you usually have until about the first week of March or sometime in March to be able to challenge the assessed value and then get your property taxes changed. So anyway, I hope that has been helpful for you guys. That's all the time I've got for you this morning. So again, if you know anybody that has any questions or any questions you want to hear answered next week, put it in the comment section and we'll get it answered. Next Monday, I haven't decided whether I'm going to come on Monday or not because it's the long weekend, but I'm leaning towards not on Monday, but on Tuesday morning instead. So look for live online next week on Tuesday as opposed to Monday because Monday's the holiday. If you liked what you heard or found it helpful or think that this could be helpful, please like it and share it so that I can keep coming on and getting people's questions answered. And keep sending them in. Obviously, that seems to be people's choice of getting the questions to us, is sending them in either in our comment section or private messages or via email. And happy to keep coming on and getting your questions answered. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week after the long weekend.